Spoiler alert.
I'm probably not gonna listen to his advice.
I was finding myself saying yes to people that I should have said no to.
There was this one car I really wanted. I was like, that is so cool. It was a Subaru BRZ.
We know that God cares for us, and He wants to give us what we need.
It might have been like just God saying like, no, you ain't getting this.
If you are seeking God, you will find God.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Another Day, Another Way podcast, where we get real about college, young adult life, and where every day we try to live in a better way. My name is Marlon.
My name is Jose.
And I'm Fernanda.
There we go. Here.
That was very soft.
No, that was loud.
Okay, I don't know if these are connected then. Talk.
Hello?
Reason y'all are very soft. Okay, anyway, sorry.
What?
I feel like it's too loud.
Y'all are going crazy.
Maybe that's it.
Probably.
Crazy. Talking about crazy. Let's think about it. 100
I was crazy
gorillas.
once.
What?
I was crazy once.
Crazy.
They locked me in the room.
Oh my goodness. Ask your question.
100 Joses or 100 humans versus one gorilla. Who wins?
These are like the questions we should be asking.
Yeah.
Like,
I think a gorilla would win.
You think a gorilla would win?
Yeah, I don't understand this trend. I've been seeing so many people asking this question.
Unk.
What do you think, Jose?
I used to be on the gorilla side, but now that I've seen plenty of research,
Yeah, I too.
I'm now on the
Human side.
men's. Like, yeah, 100 people.
You just gotta, it's all about tactics.
What do you mean tactics?
Well, you gotta tire out the gorilla. Like, we just have to have some, like, 50 or 30, 20 men that
Sacrifices.
sacrifice. Yeah,
Sacrifices.
Oh.
All I know, that first one is
And then you just hit him with the elbow. Hit him in the eye. Maybe poke his nose or something.
Because gorillas are crazy strong.
yeah, but they're not that big. Like they're like
That.
a regular
are
size
big.
gorilla. It's like, well, I think like 400 pounds around there, 500 around there.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one they've ever like recorded is like 600 or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, but if you get like rushed by like 100 people,
Yeah, I guess. Oh my gosh, it reminds me. I watched How to Train Your Dragon last night.
that's a good
That-
movie.
that-
That's a good movie. Which one? The first one?
The first one.
That's a good one.
And that's basically what happened at first. Like, whenever at the very end, spoiler alert, at the very
That
end.
movie's been out for like 20 years now. Or something.
Okay, well, Jacob hadn't watched it.
Oh,
So, at the very end of the movie, when they're going to the big dragon, there were so many sacrifices at the very beginning, and the dad and his, I guess that's his brother, right? The one that doesn't have a leg,
Yeah.
or the hook. I don't even know what.
that's just his friend, his best friend.
Oh, okay.
Bestie.
Well, they were like, we'll distract them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like
Yeah,
the
basically.
theory of the gorilla and the. Okay, bet.
That's the
Look at
attack.
me.
That's a plan of attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. Who started that trend on TikTok?
People.
Somebody
Men.
in too much time.
Yeah. Men. Well, yeah, there you go.
Okay, now I have a question for y'all. Okay, so we all, like, in this generation, this society, we are supposed to have it figured out, like, we are supposed to be like we're supposed to hustle, have it figured out, and
I was not paying attention to Jose.
you should get on.
I was listening to you.
Right, but sometimes the hardest thing to say is like, yo, I need help. Like, I
Yo.
need help. You know?
Yeah.
So if it's like, for you,
Yo.
yo, for you, what's something that you have, like, something simple? It could be something simple that you needed help in, but, like, you were hesitant to ask.
Do you have one, Jose? Because I for sure know one exactly right now.
You can go first.
Taxes.
Oh.
Oh, Straight up. Straight up.
No, because it just happened. It was my first time filing taxes by myself, and I was so afraid to do them that I procrastinated to do them. So then, when it was like, oh, I have to get them done, I didn't know how to do them, and I was very stressed, and I asked my friends Heather and Obed. Shout out to y'all. But then I filled it out, and it was wrong. Well. Something happened.
I'm going to jail.
Something happened.
Take her away. Take her.
But then my sweet friend Miss Tina, she helped me, and like I had to do it all over again, and like there was some like it was stressful, but I was scared to ask for help because I was like, I'm an adult and I'm supposed to know this. So, but if I hadn't helped, like if I hadn't asked for help.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been good. Like, I would have not turned in something right or something. I don't know. I'm glad I asked for help there.
Yeah.
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 You, Jose?
I'm not someone that really asks for help.
Yeah, I know.
I don't really
I know.
Yeah, me too.
I got it. I can figure it out. But,
Men.
I mean, yeah, I can't really think of something. I mean, probably when I was little, probably like fixing something, but
No.
I don't remember.
No.
I'm just like that, I guess.
It's like that. I had one recently too. So you know how it's Mother's Day? It's about to be like it was Mother's Day. At church we're supposed to have food, right? For the mothers. And your dad, pastor said, it's like, okay, well we need someone to like take care of the chicken. Like, marinate the chicken. I was like, well, nobody was saying anything. I was like, how hard could it be? I was like, I'll do it. Because I was like, so I did it. And I was like, oh, yeah, it'll be easy. Like, it's fine. Like, I got it. It's just chicken, And I told my mom, oh, no, I didn't tell my mom. I just told her, I was like, oh, I'm going to do the chicken. She's like, but you know how to, she was trying to help me. She was trying to help me.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, I got it. Like, it'll be fine. But then I was working with Marlon Fernanda. And I was just like, we're just talking. Chill guy. We're just talking about life. And I was
Chill
like,
guy.
I was just like, you know what? He knows because he did the ribs last year or sometimes. So I asked him, I was like, you know what? I'll just ask him just for funsies.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably not going to listen to his advice. But it turns out he had good advice.
Oh, good.
And he was like, he's like, no, it's like not easy. He's like, last year when I did ribs, like, it was so many ribs that like he cannot eat them anymore. Like, cause I was like, oh, okay. Like,
My chicken.
He gave me useful tips. Like, so like he said no to the grilling, so we're gonna have to like oven bake them and whatnot. And then he also told me like a seasoning you could either it's easy. He said lemon pepper and just some other spices. I was like, okay.
Why not
So-
grilling?
Because it takes longer. And he says if we were to do grilling, it's like you risk not cooking the chicken fully.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not. It's like, do we want people to have salmonella?
No, we don't. We don't. We don't.
Yeah.
I thought chicken was just if it reached like a certain like what's it called, temperature. It was like good.
Well, it depends because last year it wasn't that good, or it was 1 year. It depends on the chicken. I haven't. That's the thing. It depends. I haven't looked at the chicken yet, so we have to look at the chicken. Because he said, does it have bone? He says if it has bone, grilling is like not good because if you grill it and you risk burning it, you can like the bone, like something about the bone and it being not good. So I was like, I'm gonna listen to him because he knows. So,
Yeah. I mean, he's a cook.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, yeah. So because sometimes we treat like asking for help like it's a weakness.
Yes. It's like, oh, I'm about to show that I don't know.
Yeah. Even though we all need it sometimes.
Yeah.
I know.
I know. You know.
Well, imagine before you had a job, Jose.
Wonderful.
Well, before you had a job. Okay. Before you had a job, did you know anything about like working? You
I
know,
wish you would, Marlon. I wish you would. I wish. Keep going.
like before you had a job, like there were like you had to learn how to apply for things, how to apply for jobs, or like work under someone else. You didn't know that, maybe, or whenever you started learning how to like play an instrument. At first, you didn't know. you have to ask for help.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
or
Oh
whenever
my goodness.
whenever we didn't have the sound system right at church, and then Brother Mike came and helped, and you and Marlon were there, and that was help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just examples.
Thank you for putting me on my place.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
I got to. I'm kidding.
Yeah. And sometimes like asking for help is like it shows people that you want to learn as well. Like you like okay, like you're interested. It's like
Yeah.
a good thing. I don't know why sometimes people don't ask for help.
Brother Philip, he says that, oh no, how I started meeting Fernanda is because she would come to the door and she'd be like, hey, I have a question. That was me all the time. Like, hey, I have a question, because I'm really interested in video editing and all the video stuff. So whenever I first started working here, I wanted to ask and ask and ask. So, and now we're friends.
Besties.
That's what you
Yes.
think.
I know we're friends. Yeah.
And sometimes, at times, we can search and we keep asking. Maybe not necessarily for like help, but we sometimes ask for like other things like jobs, opportunities, relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes like I want to ask like, what's something that you may have asked for and wanted badly, but then you got it and realized that it's like, oh, I'm glad I didn't get it. You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to think about stuff like this.
Okay, well that's good. You know, being vulnerable is good. That's where you start, you know? And this exercise that Marlon is asking all these questions for us it's great. I mean, I
Yeah.
bet some people out there don't know how to answer these things either. So Jose, you're not alone. I remember whenever I was in college, you know, everyone there is like coupling up already. Like the first week of school, it feels like everyone just finds like the person that they're gonna be dating, and if you don't find it, it's like, oh, what happened here? You know, because a lot of people go to college with the mentality of like, oh, I can find my boyfriend here, I can find my girlfriend here. So I remember me going to college single, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll meet my husband, you know, and it didn't work out, but it was something that everyone had, and I was really desiring a relationship, and I mean, sometimes I got the relationship, and then I realized, oh, this is not what God wants for me, so I would get out. So I guess it's like I was in some way kind of like idolizing having a relationship, and because I wanted it and I wanted it, I was finding myself saying yes to people that I should have said no to from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So I had to learn the hard way, because sometimes even though we want something and we're like, oh, but it's probably not good, we still go ahead and do it. And I mean, that's how I learned. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, maybe I should have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was like high school too. There was this guy who would always bring his girlfriend to soccer practice. It was like it wasn't a high school soccer team. It was just like a different practice. And I'd be like, she would sit there and watch. And I'd be like, oh, like in the part that's nice, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I got someone there. But at the same time, I would be like, okay, but like, don't you have better things to do?
Like for the girlfriend?
Yes.
Then just sit there?
Yes. I was like,
I don't know.
yeah, like
I don't know.
maybe once or twice, right? Like once or twice.
It
but
was
then
every time?
Every time.
Girl was dedicated.
Every Thursday.
Uh-uh.
I was like, well, I guess. But I felt that I saw it was nice, and that's when like I guess I also wanted like I was like, you know, it would be nice to have someone like to like someone other than like God to just talk to and be like, oh, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And so, like during like middle school, like I also like had the middle school relationships, and I realized like whenever I wasn't in them, I was like, yeah, maybe I'm glad that I didn't like start like dating like during those times, because I was like, yeah, it's like not it. done it. I was like, I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, I'm glad I got out of those. You remember, Jose?
I remember one. I'll let you finish yours. I'll let
Yeah,
you finish.
yeah, but that's it. It's like maybe I realized that it was like something I didn't like fully get.
Alright.
Yeah. And sorry, for something that you don't fully get, it's like you were young whenever you were in middle school. And I mean, I was in college. But also, like, that's something that's, like, a very, like, I feel sometimes it's, like, a pressure that you have on. Like, everyone's in a relationship in middle school, high school. It starts in middle school. I mean, I know people that they were dating in elementary. They said, oh, yeah, my boyfriend in elementary. I said, what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like, I was
Yeah.
like, how did you already know all that? Like, I didn't even know. Like, I was like, boys, ew. It was just, we were all friends.
I was
playing
risen
Minecraft.
since I was in pre-K.
Huh?
I was risen
Yeah.
in pre-K. I'm like that.
Okay, does Marlon know that story?
I think I did.
Maybe. Flor, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Flor. Yeah. That's it. That's all you gotta know. I was risen. Come on. Come on now. Don't
Yeah.
play with me.
But it's crazy how like society has impacted all of us nowadays. Like even when we're young, we already know what it is to have a relationship, and we desire something that we don't really understand, and we just want it. We just want it because everyone else is having it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It could be like a job or anything, really.
Oh yeah. Okay, Jose.
I remember. Okay. Okay, this was when I was about to get my car.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one car I really wanted. And I was like, this is so cool. It was a Subaru BRZ. It was like a light in blue. So it was real nice. I liked it. But the thing is, that's not a very big car. That's like a little toy car. It's like, it's a coupe. So it's like 2 seats in front. It had back seats, but you can barely fit anything in there. And so I really wanted that car, but my dad was like, my mom was like, no, you're not getting that and everything. I was pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted that car because it's so cool.
I remember.
And then it was just like back and forth about the car and everything. My mom was like, no, you don't need that. And it's like, it's a sporty car.
It is a sporty car.
So-
It was pretty cool, and it wasn't it the one that with the stick.
Yeah, it was a manual.
Yeah.
Which I really liked too.
Yeah.
But Manuel. But yeah, I ended up getting like a Honda, like a bigger car, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to college. I gotta be able to do like my own stuff, because I didn't want my parents to come like back and forth to like help me move out and everything. You know, that's just not really me. I was like, I gotta take all my stuff in one go with my car, and that's it. So I ended up getting like a little hatchback. So yeah, that's something I wanted but I didn't get, and then that's probably a good idea because I tend to go a little bit fast. So yeah, so I think that's a good thing that I didn't get it. But yeah.
And I think that mom and dad, I mean, dad is a guy, so he was like, oh, the car's cool too. But then like mom had that discernment, and she was like, that's not something that Jose needs.
Yeah.
But it was hard to hear that, wasn't it? Like it was like you wanted something real bad, and like you were like, oh yeah, like you had somebody like, oh yeah, that would be good, and then another person that was like, no, that's not what you need.
Yeah.
And then we took it to Jonesboro to see over there.
Yeah.
And then I drove like the whole way and everything. I got really good with like manual and like shifts and everything. And I was like, oh, that's cool. The only thing was like the
pedal,
the one, what's it called?
accelerator.
No, the one on the left.
Shifter.
Yeah. Is that what it's
clutch.
called? The clutch. There you go. The clutch was way too high. So that was hard to do. You kind of had to like lift up your foot in the air, kind of. It was really high.
Why? Sorry.
Oh, weird.
Anyways, yeah, that's crazy.
No, but thank you. That's a good example. I mean, good job, Jose. Yeah.
You're welcome. That's just what I do.
And like,
Okay.
how do we answer when like we don't get the things we want? And
Man, I crash out.
Tweak out.
Man, you don't want to see it, man. You don't want to see it.
Well, let me just show this Bible portion to y'all. Matthew 7, verse 7, and we're gonna read it like to verse 13. No, I'm so sorry.
12.
11.
Oh.
No, sorry. 11. So it says, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. knock, and it will be open to you. So like if you really want that car, Jose, you just gotta ask, and it will come to you.
I asked.
Right? So we're gonna get into that. So it says, for everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and the one who knocks it will be opened. Or which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If then, who are evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? Right. So we just talked about like asking and not getting it. And so it's kind of like, well, I asked for a car, but I didn't get it. So what does that mean? I think what Jesus is trying to say here is that if you ask, if you seek him, he will answer. Like, and we know that he's not just going to give you like everything you want. Like, he's not just going to give you a car if he knows that if you go too fast with that car, you're going to die. Like, that's not a good father. That's not a good dad, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like, if I give you this relationship, you're going to end up being hurt, and it's not going to be good for you. So it's like if you are searching for something, especially God, one, you could ask, you could seek, and he will answer. And if you're seeking for something else, we know his 3, either wait, not right now, or yes. And it's really important to pray and communicate with God and know that, like, well, if it's not happening, it's for a reason. If you're not getting something, it's for a reason, you know? So we know that God cares for us, and he wants to give us what we need. But if it's certain things that we ask for, like a relationship or materialistic things, then he's just not. It's like, no, it's not good for you. And that's amazing, the love of God that kind of like shields us from those things.
Yeah.
Yes. Something that a lot of people, it's like silence is very disturbing for some people.
Yeah.
And like you said, God can answer with wait, and that basically means silence.
Yeah.
What? Wait.
Right?
They don't love you like I love you.
Keep going.
So for me, it's like you said, if you are seeking God, you will find God.
Yeah.
That's something you just said, right?
Oh, yeah.
How can you seek him?
Well, you ask.
You just ask?
You ask. You be like, hey, God, like, I need you. You go down to people like to just be alone. You know, you be alone, you just in your room, alone. You ask and you pray to God, the one God, and you ask him, is like, God, like, I need you. Or it could be the other way around. Maybe God is the one that's knocking. God may be the one trying to talk to you, and you just have to like come to him, be like, okay, God, like, what is it that you want to speak to me about? You know, what is like, what are you trying to tell me? And I guess it's not easy because I know I personally kind of like, we all wrestle with God at some point, and it's kind of like you can only describe it once you experience it, how God talks to you and how he changes your heart. But if you come to him with a repentant heart and you acknowledge that, God, I need you, and maybe the way I've been living isn't the best way.
Yeah.
I need to repent. Like, he will answer.
Yeah.
And he will forgive you. And it's up to you to continue to follow him, up to you to continue to obey him.
I think that sometimes I'm like, is this something that God is going to give me? When I ask, like, I'm like, is this something that is worth asking? Sometimes I'm like, and anything is worth asking God. Because whenever I chose to follow God with my day-to-day life, whenever I chose to say no to myself, I'm basically saying, okay, anything that I do, I want to make sure that it's something that fits into God's plan. So sometimes we're like, oh, when I pray, how is God going to answer? Well, God can answer through people. God can answer through, like, literally, if you're outside and he can speak through you through nature. God is a God that...
All powerful.
exactly. So he'll answer to you, but the most clear way that you know if God is talking to you is when you read His Bible, like His Word. And when you study it, you get to learn who God is. Like, you get to learn His character. You get to learn what He likes, what He doesn't like. So when you pray, you also read the Word, and you're like, does this fit with what God would want?
Yeah.
And then He will answer your prayers through the Scripture. So it's kind of like, let's say for relationships, I knew that I wanted a relationship, and God literally says it was Adam and Eve, and then He first created Adam and He created Eve for him, and He thought it was good. And then you see all this like marriages, this relationships in the Bible, and like it's clear that God said be fruitful and multiply. Like, God wants you to have a relationship, but it depends on like what type of relationship you want, and like what type of relationship you're seeking. Because if you're seeking a relationship that is only going to fulfill you, that is basically just saying yes to your personal desires, that's definitely not something that God wants. But we have, like what we said in the past, we have free will. So like we get to say, like, let's say I had free will in college, and then because I was dumb, I did what I wanted, and I ended up getting hurt. Because I was not looking for what God wanted me. Like, I didn't understand what a relationship meant. So I was just looking for someone to, like, have fun with. But I was not looking for a person with the qualities of a husband. Because that's what dating is. So whenever I started understanding what I wanted, like what that desire was in my heart, because God puts that desire, like, it's okay for you to have a relationship. It's okay for you to have that desire, to have a partner. But whenever God was like, okay, this is what a husband, this is what a husband is. This is what you're supposed to be looking for in a partner. That's when I started praying for that specific partner, and that's when God like answers, whether it's wait, whether it's yes, or whether it's a no. So that's basically like you have to know if you're like what you're asking God aligns. And sometimes it won't align, and that's when He says no. So we shouldn't be upset when God says no, because like you said, it's because He's protecting us. So I think it's very important as well to know how we can find the answers to our prayers, and that it's okay for you to ask God because He wants you to talk to Him. I think you had an idea.
No, I was just thinking about the car. I think it might have been like just God saying like, no, you ain't getting this. Because I was low-key just thinking about the car because it looked good and people would see the car I was driving.
Wow.
So I was like, that could be. You never know.
Okay, Jose, thank you for sharing that because that is so true. We care so much about what people think. And God literally said, I'm protecting your heart. Like through Mom, like, even though you didn't see it then, God was protecting you. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Crazy? I was crazy once.
Oh my goodness.
They locked me in a room, a rubber room.
Anyway,
A rubber room with
thank
rats.
you so
Rats
much,
went
guys,
crazy.
for tuning in.
Crazy.
We'll see you again next Friday at ADAW Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Have a good one.
Bye.
Lifeword.org.
On Facebook and on the cloud.